Hey friends, and welcome to the long-awaited Budgeting 101 video. If you hear any noise in the background, that is because it is raining. I know, right? When I'm filming. It's so disrespectful. Anyway, this was originally going to be a 3-part video where I showed you 2 types of budgets that my family use and then give you some tips. But if you've been following my posts on Twitter, then you would know that everything from screencasting software to lenses to tripods to batteries to cameras hates me. So I'm going to simplify everyone's life and just give you the tips. But they are pretty handy, and a couple of them have come from some very wise people. So come along, enjoy, and learn how to save your money. Welcome! We're going to get right into this. If you see me looking to the side, it is because I have written some notes, otherwise we would be here forever. Budget 1, which is what you're seeing right now, is better suited to someone who's paid once a week, but if you're brave, you can manage it for multiple weeks. For example, once I went, how much was it? A whole month without being paid, and I alternated between going in and adjusting it per week or multiplying everything by 4. But basically, by knowing what you need to allow for, you can see what is going where and what you have spare. Look at what needs to come out and cross it off as you do it. Budget number 2 is better suited to someone who is paid fortnightly, like my mother. As you can see, she writes down what comes out when, how much it is, and then assigns each one to a date. When that payment comes out, she draws a line through it, and also once a week, say the in-between Wednesday, she gets a balance just to check in with how she's going. And while budget 2 is similar in purpose to budget 1, number 2 allows you to plan further ahead, and it requires just slightly less effort and time than number 1. Not to mention, it's easier to do by hand than number 1 is. Tip number 2 actually leads me into tip number 3. Keep your receipts. As well as getting a balance, keeping your receipts allows you to keep track of your spending and what bills you've paid. Obviously, if it's a year old, if it's from the previous year, you can biff it. But keeping your receipts is a really handy way to make sure your spending does not get out of line. Put aside a little each week or pay period for saving. So each time, a certain amount, say $10, $20, whatever you decide on, and keep that for safekeeping. And I mean, like, if you want something, work for it. I mean, by saving, you don't have to rely on people like your parents. I mean, come on, like, if you can work towards it yourself, then isn't it going to feel so much better when you're able to buy it? You're like, yeah, I worked for this, I deserve it. And put an invisible do not touch sign in front of this money. Otherwise, you will end up like I did and spend $70 that you shouldn't. Always live below your means. I mean, if you can't afford something, then why are you spending that money? I mean, you heard me in tip number 4. I splurged when I was tempted, of course, and I ended up in the negative dollars. So live below your means, and don't spend what you can't afford. I hope those tips helped. If you have any of your own that I did not mention, leave them below. I'm sure everyone would love to know. And also, if you have Q&A questions, leave them below. If I ever get some sort of stroke of luck and finally work out how to screencast without being a failure, then I may or may not do a Budgeting 102, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Anyway, thanks for watching, and once again, I really hope those helped. Bye for now.